Hey, second grade friends. Miss Jersey here. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into day 9 of your packet. This will be the last section of your morning work for this week. So number 1 is asking us to circle the correct homophone that completes this sentence. Now we've got the possessive pronoun your, as in that is your drink, it belongs to you, or the contraction you are, your. So is it going to be your homework that belongs to you is very messy, or you are homework is very messy? Well, that contraction doesn't fit here, so we're going to choose the possessive pronoun your. All right, number 2 is asking us what the word curious means. It says the curious kitten explored the house. Now, when I hear the word curious, of course, I think of Curious George, who likes to know and learn and explore different things. So the kitten might be fluffy and cute, but curious here means that they want to know about things. It says that he explored around the house. All right, ninjas, last day of contractions. You ready? So 3, 2, 1, hi-ya. Cut apart I, and we have I have. All right, shouldn't. Ready? 3, 2, 1, hi-ya. Shouldn't is should not. And then there, 3, 2, 1, hi-ya. There is they are. All right? Last one on the ELA side is to circle the possessive pronoun for this sentence. So that pencil is, if it belongs to me, that pencil is mine's. Mine is, or mine's belong, that doesn't sound right. That pencil is mine, or that pencil is me's. And here it's going to be mine. Okay? All right, flip into that math side. Let's stack up 574 plus 225. And we add up those ones because we always start with our ones. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. 7 plus 2 also gives me 9. And 5 plus 2 is 7. So 799. All right, let's fill in these different symbols to make these statements true. Now I can look at the number 30 and see that it only has a digit in the ones and tens place. Whereas 300 has no 0, no ones, no tens, but 300s. And hundreds are much bigger. So we're going to choose 300 is bigger than 30. All right? Now we see 462. These two numbers are the same. So they're equal to each other. And then last we've got 54, which is 4 ones, 5 tens. And then 541, which is 1 1, 4 tens, and 5 hundreds. So with those hundreds, it makes that one much bigger. All right, on this array here, there are 2 different equations you could have put to match this array, depending on if you added by rows that go from side to side or columns that go up and down. So let's start with rows. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each row. So to write this equation, I would do 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. And we know adding up 5, 5, 5, and 5 gets us 20. Now, another way you could have done this if you went by columns up and down, we see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, and each column has 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 4, 5 times. 3, 4, 5, and of course that equals the same because it's the same picture, 20 total squares. All right, let's go to this next word problem. It says a fisherman had 20 feet of fishing line, but his line got stuck and he had to cut away 13 feet. How many feet of fishing line does a fisherman have left? Well, if you had a string or a fishing line or a ribbon or something and you had to cut away, if you had to cut away something, you're taking away from what you already had. You have less because you cut away or took away. And we know that the word left also means that we subtract. So we've got 2 numbers here. We're going to put the bigger number first to subtract 20 minus the 13 you cut away. Go over here because I can't do 0 minus 3, so my 2 becomes a 1. My 0 becomes a 10, and 10 minus 3 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. So he has 7 feet left. All right? Let's go ahead and get that erased so we can get to our spring break story for today. All right. Cool. All right, going to the next part where we've got a story about Kelvin and his spring break surprise. It says, Kelvin hopped off the school bus and trudged towards home. He knew he should be excited. It was spring break at last, but all of his friends were going on vacation and Kelvin's family was staying home as usual. He had asked his mom if they could go somewhere, but she shook her head sadly. Kelvin, you know we can't afford to take all 6 of us on vacation for a week, and your father and I can't miss work. Kelvin sighed, but he knew it was true. He heard his parents whispering about the apartment complex raising their rent, and Dad's car breaking down a few weeks ago couldn't have been cheap to fix. Still, Kelvin was jealous of his friends who got to go somewhere fun. He was having a snack when the phone rang, and Kelvin answered. Hello? Hi, sweetie, his grandma replied. I heard you have a week off from school. Would you like to come visit me? I can take you to the zoo. Just me? Asked Kelvin excitedly. He never got to spend time with Grandma when his little brother and sisters weren't there. Just you, she confirmed. If that sounds okay, I'll pick you up tomorrow at 9 for the best spring break ever. Kelvin couldn't wait. All right, so let's start with blue. I'm going to just double check real quick that we are still recording. Yep, we're good. All right, so let's see. Whose car broke down a few weeks ago? I remember in the second paragraph was kind of mom giving reasons why they weren't able to go. And Kelvin told us that Dad's car breaking down a few weeks ago couldn't have been cheap to fix. So whose car broke down a few weeks ago? That's Dad's car. Okay? Now I do not have a yellow marker still, so I'm going to switch to pink instead of yellow, which is fine. And it's asking, what was Kelvin doing when Grandma called? Well, I remember that the section of the story where Kelvin was talking to Grandma on the phone wasn't until the end. So I can go back towards the end of the story to find this one. And it says, what was Kelvin doing when Grandma called? Okay, so let's look at the beginning here. Oh, here we go. He was having a snack when the phone rang. And we know the phone ringing was Grandma. So what was he doing? Having a snack. Okay? Alright, switching to red now. Where will Grandma take Kelvin? Again, we're staying at the end of the story because that's where Grandma and Kelvin are talking on the phone to each other. And she tells him that, you want to come visit me? I can take you to the zoo. So Grandma's going to take Kelvin to the zoo. Sounds like so much fun. All right, with purple, let's find why wasn't Kelvin's family going on a trip. Again, this is going to be like the first one where we go towards the middle of the story where Mom is kind of talking to him about why they can't go anywhere. And she says, Kelvin, you know we can't afford to take all 6 of us on a vacation for a week, and your father and I can't miss work. So can't afford it means they don't have enough money. So, you could write afford if you wanted to. Not enough money and can't, said Mom and Dad have to work, so they can't miss work. Okay? All right, switching to my green now. Let's see, how will this trip with Grandma be different? Now, it was interesting right after she said, I'll take you to the zoo, he said, just me? Kelvin asked excitedly. He never got to spend time with Grandma when his little brother and sisters weren't there. So this trip was going to be different because it would be just Kelvin. No brothers, no sisters. It'd be just Kelvin and his grandmother, so they get some extra quality time together. All right, last one is asking, when will Grandma pick up Kelvin? And down at the very end, she confirms that it's going to be just him. If it sounds okay, here it is. I'll pick you up tomorrow at 9. So she will pick Kelvin up tomorrow at 9. All right. I'm going to give you just a second to get those written down. And of course, you know, if you ever need to pause or you ever need to rewind and go back to a section that you might have missed, you're welcome to do that. It's a good thing about having it on a video. All right, so after finishing up that text evidence sheet, I really like those. We're going to go on to Study Island to your active assignments to do your quick little practice on Study Island ELA Day 9 from your teacher. Okay, math, let's get this. All right, go over my notes real quick and let's subtract to find these. So we've got 90, 70, 61, 66, 4, 35. And some of these today were easy to do in your head to subtract mentally. But if you had to stack and solve to do it, that's awesome. Do it. It's way better way to check your work a little bit more carefully. And 29. All right, so I'll let you check those for just a second. See if you got all those right. All right. So they've kind of given us some almost like brain teaser puzzles. These remind me of on our math sheet for today for lesson 22. And you're going to see stuff really similar to this on Zern. So whoever was measuring this pencil did not follow our rule of starting at 0, did they? They started at the number 59 and measured all the way to 65. So to figure out how long the pencil is, we can't say the pencil is 65 because we did not start at 0. We started at 59. So we've got to count how many units long this pencil is. And we don't even know if it's centimeters or what. It doesn't say. So we can count from 59, where it starts, to 65. And let's see how many that is. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the pencil is 6 units long. All right, now on this next number line, each number line is 10. So it's 10 from one line to the other. And it wants us to show 20 centimeters more than 30. So we're going to actually start with 30 here on our number line and go ahead and fill it in, counting by 10, since that's what they told me to do. So 10 more than 30 would be 40, then 50, then 60, then 70. And it wants us to see what 20 centimeters more would be. So this would be 10, 20. So the addition equation to solve this would be 30 plus 20 more equals that 50 right there. Now I accidentally cut my directions here for number 3. So it'll be fine on your paper to follow along with number 3. I'm just going to have to look back at my notes to see how long each unit is and what we're going to be counting by. All right. So let's get to number 3, 4, and 5. All right, so on number 3 on your paper, it says each unit on the number line is 5 yards. So on number 3, we're counting by 5 each time. But it says that they want us to show 15 less than 50. So when we're showing more, we're going to go that direction where we add more. But when we're showing less, we're going to go the opposite direction. So if we're showing less than 50, let's go ahead and put 50 is our final number on our number line. And again, they told me that we were counting by 5s on each of these. So if I go back 5 less than 50 would be 45, 5 less would be 40, 5 less 35, 5 less 30, 5 less 25, 5 less 20. Okay, and the problem they're asking me to solve is what is 15 less than 50. So I can start at 50 and count by 5 so I get to 15 and see what that is. Ready? 5, 10, 15 gets me 35. So our subtraction equation would be 50 minus the 15 we went back. So we went back 5, 10, 15. And that gave us 35. Okay? All right, number 4 says that each unit here is 5 yards. So we're counting by 5s again, and it wants us to show 25 more than 40. So since we're going to go more that way on our number line, I can put my starting number 40 at the beginning. Now it told me we were counting by 5, so let's count by 5 to fill it in. 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. Counting by 5s. Now it wants us to show 25 more, so I'm getting bigger than 40. So let's count by 5 so we get to 25. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 more would be 65. So that would be 40 plus 25 more equals 65. Last one, it says that each unit here is 10. So we're counting by tens to show 35 plus 40. Well, I know that the number 40 is how many tens? 4 tens. So it's asking me really to start at 35 and count on 4 tens to see what I get. So let's start at 35. And it said each unit is going to be 10. So 10 more would be 45. 10 more would be 55. 65. Keep going by 10. 75. 85. 95. 105. 115. 125. 135. Whew! Wow. So if I start at 35 and add 40, which we just said 40 was the same thing as 4 tens, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 35 plus 40 would give me 75. Okay? So again, that was practice on lesson 22. Lesson 22, so you've got a lot more practice you'll be able to do on lesson 22 once you get on Zearn. And once you are finished with lesson 22 on Zearn, it's going to say you've unlocked lesson 22. That's what we want to do today. We want to finish 22's work, unlock lesson 23, and then finish up today with your Study Allen Math Day 9 assignment. Please let us know if you have any questions, you need help with anything, something really was confusing today. Your teacher is more than happy to help you with all of this. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow.